Hello and welcome back to Tinged as Literature. Once again, I'll be looking at Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a novel by R.L. Stevenson. I'll also recommend that you go back and watch my first video on chapter 1 if you haven't already seen it, so to better understand the storyline and chronology of the novel. In this video, I'll be looking at the second chapter, called The Search for Mr. Hyde. Let's first look at the storyline of the chapter. The chapter begins with Utterson, prompted by his conversation with Enfield, going home to study and re-look over a will he'd drawn up previously for his close friend Dr. Jekyll, which states that if ever Jekyll goes missing or dies, all of his possessions are to be given immediately to Mr. Edward Hyde. And after rereading this, Utterson becomes convinced that Hyde is manipulating Jekyll, which leads to Utterson regularly lurking around the door as described in chapter 1, until he finally comes face to face with Hyde himself. Initial analysis of this scene shows the courage of Utterson against the ominous figure that is Hyde, and also the concern Utterson truly felt for Dr. Jekyll, in order to motivate himself to wait persistently for Mr. Hyde in front of the door. Now if we go even further into this scene, there are some key quotes that define the chapter and are key to the character development of both Hyde and Utterson throughout the novel. Firstly, the quote, "Friend and benefactor Edward Hyde," shows that from the start of the novel, Jekyll knows Hyde will eventually take over and is completely unsure of the final effects of his experiments. The second quote, "Human juggernaut," is a metaphor for Hyde's superhuman strength and also his incapability to feel emotions such as guilt and remorse, causing him to be a force to be reckoned with. Finally, the quote, "Old dissecting room door," identifies that it's well known that Hyde resides in Jekyll's house, as servants have been ordered to obey him, but they see little of Jekyll as he confines himself to the laboratory connected to the door seen in chapter 1. Although these are the only 3 quotes I've picked out, there are many more that would be just as useful to look over, and also feel free to go back through the video and write down any of the quotes and annotations I've gone over. Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll be going over chapter 3 in the next one.